Your phone could be a lifesaver during a hurricane or a wildfire. And by using your phone, you're able to access apps and social media that can really give you timely information. Joe coming at you, RX Healthy Habits. And in our disaster preparation series, we find that there's a lot of things that sometimes people are not on their radar. And one of them is they dismiss the fact that social media may become a very valuable thing during these times. And boy, there's been some case studies to show that's not true, just the opposite. So let me go through. I'm going to use my notes a little bit here, but the power of social media and disasters is really this: real-time updates. You got community support too, where people are talking to each other on the social media apps. Again, a lot of it's going to depend on internet and all that. I get that, but phones sometimes don't have to be, on Wi-Fi to get the information, which is kind of neat. There was a case study during Hurricane Harvey where X and Facebook really facilitated a lot of rescues and information sharing that was absolutely huge. So that's very important. Now, what are some of the best social media platforms? Well, X has a lot of real-time alerts from official and from locals, from officials and locals, especially on there. You can follow at FEMA and at ReadyGov and other local emergency accounts, the National Weather Service at NWS. It's all in the notes I'm going to have on this too, and it's going to be in a blog, so don't worry, it's all there. YouTube, of course, has got tutorials. I love YouTube. And you can subscribe to FEMA there too. TikTok, now that's a great, really quick tips and awareness videos that are fast-paced. Caution, you got to be a little bit careful there with misinformation, but TikTok's a great source. Facebook, join local community groups now in your area ahead of time. And follow FEMA and Red Cross pages also on Facebook. So here's some must-have apps. These are non-negotiable. You should really have these apps downloaded. The FEMA app, the Red Cross app, Weather Underground, very important. And there's one that you can kind of use if you have internet somehow, and that's Zello. That's a walkie-talkie app for communication. So you can read more about that. But here's some tips for safe and effective use. Follow verified accounts. Be careful, especially if they have, make sure they have badges. Make sure they have some official sites. Enable notifications so you get alerts. This is very important. You want to make sure you get local alerts from FEMA. You want to make sure you share safely. Just don't post crazy stuff, all right? Because this is an important time for people to get good information. And always engage people on social media if you can to find out more details. Avoid misinformation. That is usually done by checking sources, but also cross-verifying with other sources so that you don't get stuck. And be skeptical. There is a point that you have to be a little skeptical when you're doing some of this too. But the cool thing is you want to think about a call to action to say to yourself, I'm going to download some of these apps now. I'm going to follow .FEMA, and I'm going to, on X, but also I'm going to do some things to join some community groups. I'm just going to get stuff in place just so you're ready. And there's also a downloadable app that I have, a PDF, that's going to be in the show notes. You can get that link, and you can check out some really good information. There's a lot out there, but here's the point I'm trying to make with this whole thing. You really need to think about your cell phone, not only having it to look these apps up, but also how to power it. So think about how you're going to do that with solar power, battery packs, anything to make sure that cell phone is going to be able to be used to access this information. Now, I also have a tablet that I use, and I store a lot of data on there. But I think for immediate information, just be aware that the social media platforms might be a godsend. So hope that helps. And as always, come to our website, find out more. RX Healthy Habits is there to help you with your disaster preparedness. And on our website, we have a lot of companies that we work with that can really help guide you to get some good things that you're going to need for disaster prep. Usually at good prices. You can go through RX Healthy Habits. So until next video, stay safe and do just a little bit to be prepared for when crap hits the fan. Okay? God bless.